because it takes up more battery and time and effort, and we don't get nobody watching.
And on that note, welcome to Watching Amazon.
Hey!
We're back.
Yo.
It's your, I was going to say, it's your boy.
It's your boy. That's right. It's your boy, Brent.
No, they can only go with that with you, you know.
Why is that?
Because, you know, that's how you start most of your conversations.
Yeah,
It's your boy. You know, that kind of, go ahead and do it for them.
Yo, people, what's up? It's your boy, John.
See, I think I do that even better.
Yeah, that's because you got that little, Flavor Flav on the back end.
Because I won't just say it's your boy. I say it's your boy, the cold one, the bold one.
Oh God, no! Here we go again.
John Colderoy's lost.
There you go. I'm gonna get you to do me like a voiceover and let you do the intros for my videos.
Voiceover people get paid, right?
Yeah, not for me, but somebody will pay you.
Well, anyway, we are back. It's been a little while.
Yes, it's been a minute.
It's been, thousands of miles for you?
It's been a few miles in several countries. So.
Oh, listen, yeah. Well, you ain't lying.
Not lying, bro, So that was like a 2-week jaunt and then a week in Chicago. So I'm finally back. I'm getting my head right. Australia was lovely.
Okay.
Yeah. Thailand was beyond.
Of course it was.
Of course it was, So at any rate, I'm
Anything
back.
else in there?
No, I did a couple of spots in Australia. So I went to the Gold Coast, then flew to Thailand and went to Bangkok and Pattaya, and then came back and went to Sydney. So not bad.
Sounds good. I got a question though. Do they watch Amazon in all those different places?
You know what? Believe it or not, the big talk was in Australia that Amazon is about to launch. So Amazon's only been a media company in the Australia.
Really?
Yeah, and it was very odd. Let me just give you a little. I didn't talk to you about this. It was very odd. I did a session on Rise of the Robots. That's what I called it, right? And it was about artificial intelligence, virtual reality, cognitive computing, and conversational commerce. The deal was when I got into the conversational commerce and I'm talking about, Amazon Echo, and all of a sudden, while I'm talking about it, I could see the confusion on their faces. They don't have Echo.
Wait a minute. You aren't used to those confused looks when you talk?
Well, yeah. Shut up. Shut up.
All right, so they don't have echoes over there.
Right. So trying to really so I had to stop and back up and almost explain what it is, and how we're using it here and the adoption rate, how everybody's got one now, and 60% of American households. It was just very odd. I already knew I had to explain Prime and that kind of thing. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, man, they're not even in conversational mode with computers like we are.
That's pretty amazing.
That is, isn't it? It's like, wow, just think about, and that's only been 2 years.
Well, see, I think I got my first, I got the Echo in November of 2014. So we're coming up on 3.
Coming up on 3.
But
so 2.5 years.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's so inbred in our culture now that we don't even think about this being like new technology.
It's inbred in our culture, and it only took less than 3 years to do that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
intense, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you consider, when Apple came out with the iWatch, everybody thought, oh, that
was it.
It went nowhere. I mean, relatively speaking.
If you want to look
Google
cute.
Glasses.
Please. Yeah, exactly. That's the word. Please, right?
But here's this thing that came out of nowhere that nobody really knew what it was less than 3 years ago. Now, it's like I saw a stat where I think it's around half of households in the United States have one of these things.
Have an Echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That doesn't even seem right, but
but you know what? It's because of the dot. When the dot came out, it was affordable, and everybody,
price.
yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, that dot was a winner, dude.
So
real winner.
None of that is in Australia yet.
No. Wow.
That's almost like
it's like wow.
Here before the iPhone came out,
Dude.
everybody was telling you,
whatever. It's like Fred and Wilma over there when it comes to. I mean, I love them, but they had no it's just hard to be able to communicate to somebody an experience that you already had and they have not even really seen it or
it's
played
like
with it.
Mythical.
Yeah, it was really kind of, you know.
I thought if you had brought your Echo over.
You know, I'm glad I had thought about doing it, and I'm glad I didn't because it wouldn't work. Right? So I was thinking about doing a live thing of using the Echo, and if I had brought it over there, it wouldn't have worked because it would have been
So
on
you couldn't
Amazon.
even get an Echo on the internet over there. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, you needed to have access to Amazon.com, and it wouldn't have been able to connect.
Oh, .com.
Yeah, it would have connected to AU.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, very. It wouldn't know where it was, you know.
So they don't have Prime over there yet, do they?
I don't think so. No, they don't have Prime.
So they don't have Prime and they don't have Echo. They do have AWS, right? I mean, companies over there.
Yeah, absolutely. You could do the AWS.
Okay, I was just curious because it's like, man, it's almost like the Stone Ages going back.
But it's really not. I mean, you know, e-commerce itself is not Stone Aged. That's wrong to even think about. But what it is that the ecosystem that runs Amazon doesn't exist there because Amazon basically as a delivery mechanism only does books and audio. You know, it's still in the media phase there, and anything that they buy from Amazon has to be shipped from the U.S., so it's really not a viable option for them for most of the stuff.
So Amazon doesn't have any order fulfillment centers?
None. They're
No
building
data
their
centers?
first ones. They probably have data.
They have data.
I don't know, man. I will say that their internet is pretty Flintstonian. It's kind of, I don't know how the internet
I
works
could never
there.
live there then, at least not yet.
It's just, it's selective. It's
All right.
selective.
Interesting. Okay.
Love it.
So anyway, that I just had to ask about that.
You know what, though? I'll tell you what, that e-commerce itself, though, has a greater penetration per capita than it does here. Because of people where they live, how remote it is, but the adoption rate of e-commerce has been very, very
Who's
rapid.
the big dog? Is it like Alibaba or something?
No,
Or
I
do
mean,
they
the
have
big dog is probably eBay.
eBay?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so I'm sure eBay is doing this number.
Yeah, they
know?
better enjoy that big dog status for
Yeah.
while they can.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Let's
let's
get
move.
into this. So people cannot actually see this, unfortunately, because
You're going to cut it in later.
I'm gonna cut it up.
Or share it.
Okay. So let's do this.
Thank you, Vanna.
Anyway, this came from an article that came out, I think, right at the end of this week, and there's two things that caught our attention with this. One is, look at this. Well, I guess I will have to cut it
the
in.
big line.
But the big number over here, that basically says that 82% of high-income households in the United States have at least one Amazon Prime membership in the household.
That's 112,000 plus.
Yeah, 112,000.
Right, and
yeah.
this is 68 to 112.
Right.
This one's 41 to 68, and this one's
21 to 41.
So lower income, higher income.
And look at the percentages, and look at not only just the overall, but look at the up
Growth
to
curve.
the up right.
Right?
Pure. I mean, everyone is that, but this one is exaggerated.
That's true.
So, first of all, that just sounds really interesting. So, chances are, if you are in that kind of household income, you do have Amazon Prime, and you're spending a lot of money because we all know that Prime folks, they spend more than the average Amazon shopper, right?
Yes. Like more than twice as much.
So that's, I mean, you're big money grip over there. So you are amongst your people. Right? You are amongst your people.
Whatever.
Okay, now the other end of the spectrum, 52%. That's still a big number for folks making less than 41,000.
That's a huge number.
But apparently, it's not enough for Amazon
No.
because the main focus of this article was to talk about Amazon's new pricing for lower income folks to be able to become Prime members.
Right.
So what is it? What do you remember that? What is it? Like 49 or 79 or?
It was. I remember it's $5.99 a month,
Okay.
right? So I'm guessing it's $59 a year.
It's something,
Or something
much
around
lower
there.
than the
It's about half price.
$99 we're paying.
Right, about half price.
All right. So I thought that's kind of cool because that gives a larger group of people the opportunity to do some. I'm not saying it's some sort of a, they're doing it as some humanitarian effort. Look at Amazon is being so nice to the poor people.
To the poor people.
It's not. I don't think it's like that.
But
we all know what it is.
We know what it is.
It's another way to hook more people into buying from Amazon.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that if people get a decent deal to do it.
It's first hit free.
Okay, so your first impression.
First hit free.
First hit free?
Yeah,
Explain that.
That's a corner druggy term. It's like if you're a drug dealer, you give them the first hit for free, and then they keep coming back. So, I mean, that to me is kind of the play here. And also, it's only for people that have the card. Right. So you have to be on.
What was the EBT?
EBT, well, welfare card. I don't know what they call it, but if you have the card,
don't act like you never knew.
I knew some people. I had some friends, some cousins.
Just playing. All your cousins are like, wait a minute, I know we ain't talking about me.
Oh my God, yeah. Everybody's really just like on me now, right? But you have to actually be a card holder, and you get this special deal, right? So I'm guessing also that they're going to be able to use their card, because you can only use your card for certain, purchases, yeah, food purchases. You can't buy beer and wine and all that crap.
Can you buy like a high-end TV? Can I get an 8K TV?
No. But this is for you. You will be able to use the card, and you will get a subsidized Prime membership, which is kind of, I did this like, it's so nice, but it's not robbing from the rich and giving to the poor. It's not like, some kind of charitable thing that they're doing. We're actually subsidizing, it's government subsidies that are actually going to go to buying Prime product. So it's a great move for Amazon on that level.
It's getting more of the wallet share of a customer segment, basically.
Yes. So right now they're at 52%. They'll probably move that number to the 70s.
Right, and the other I won't say cool thing about it, I'll say the other thing about it is, as these folks, as their income goes up, they're going to be so indoctrinated into buying off of Prime that they will switch, and they'll eventually, some percentage of them
these numbers
are going to,
it will.
So
if you think about this too, when you talk about these numbers, that includes students.
Right? Of course.
So it's not there. So these are low income earners, but they're not necessarily all of them in the lower. What would you call that? I don't know what the term is, but they're just not earners yet.
Right. They're not full time. Most of them are students, so they're not earning a full time wage.
Right.
So, but still, let's distill a business lesson, because basically what they're doing is, this is customer acquisition. And so they figure that they can afford to take a little hit on the annual fee, because as it shows with the higher end folks, once you get these folks locked in Amazon Prime, they buy more stuff, which means they make their money back at some point.
Right. I mean, we become brand loyal. And this is another conversation I just had last week with a gentleman from the UK, right? And he was talking about Prime and Amazon, and he was saying most people are not brand loyal to Amazon. And I'm like, what do you mean? And then I had to think about it. He's in the UK. So we've pointed out before that 80% of Prime members are in the US.
Right.
So that leaves the other 20% to be worldwide, the UK, the Germanys, the Indias, you know what I'm saying? So it's not as ingrained as a brand over in those kind of places. So I was like, okay, I'll give you that, but I want to introduce you to how we feel about Amazon here in the US. We are kind of brand loyal to Prime. You know, I will look at Prime before I look at anything else. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But it makes sense. I mean, Amazon started here, and they grew as almost synonymous with e-commerce here.
Yeah.
So how many? I don't know when they started allowing folks in the UK to buy stuff on Amazon. I have no idea, but Amazon and e-commerce are almost like one and the same from the very beginning.
Yeah.
So it may take time, and then you got your Alibabas, you got your kind of, I don't know what's going on in some other areas, but some of the biggest countries have their own e-commerce giant.
Right.
And so it's they're playing. Amazon has to play competition there. Where here, it's they're the big dog.
Yeah. They own the runway here.
They own the runway.
Right. Everywhere else, they got to kind of land the plane on somebody else's runway.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. That's true. And I think cultures are different. I do the way people shop and use that as a way for people to get together and fellowship and community is around shopping. And it seems like America in general is kind of over that.
Yeah, and the other thing I think it makes it difficult or more difficult for Amazon to go into a different country. Here, they've got all these fulfillment centers all around the country, which makes it easy for them to do what we like here, get our stuff quick.
Right.
I don't know how that works overseas and how long it may take. I mean, can you imagine them? Maybe Australia, because it's smaller than a China. Maybe they have some opportunities to put some fulfillment
in China.
It's
smaller than a New York.
Yeah, basically.
A couple of New Yorks.
Right.
But yes.
But that is a key component in what made them so popular here.
Yeah.
Is being able to get our stuff quick.
Yeah. And they grew with us. Actually, you know what? They defined, and they still define the e-commerce experience in this country.
Oh yeah.
And so like you said, you've got other e-commerce players that have already defined e-commerce in those other countries, and then Amazon has to step in and either redefine it because it has to work in the Amazon way of doing things, and that can be a cultural change that takes a little bit more time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, go back to this, what do you think about this play in terms of...
Well, I think, once again, from a business perspective, they're smart. I mean, you're locking in another segment, a little maybe underperforming segment compared to some of the others. But these folks still, they still have needs. They still have to buy stuff.
Right.
So why not get them locked in? So,
well,
you see that happening.
I'm just thinking while you're talking, because I'm not listening to you.
Why should you?
Why? But you know what? Here's the other thing too: is that these kind of buyers and these kind of shoppers are grocery shoppers. That card you can use for groceries. So I think that's another way to get people ordering more groceries from Amazon, which is the play they're trying to make against the Walmarts of the world and the Krogers. So it's like, it's if they get it done right, it could be good.
Yeah, okay. So there's a lot to chew on that one. But before we go, we got to do a shout out.
Who are we shouting to?
You got to shout out to our boy Alan at Fresh. I was going to say Fresh Desk, but it's now Fresh Works, because you tell him.
Alan, what's up, bro? But I just was working on a project, and we needed more structure around our support. I got tired of people just messaging me and asking me to fix stuff, and so we just signed up with Fresh Desk, and I am absolutely in love. It has really changed the way we do business, and it's really bringing structure to our customer support. So, that's not a commercial. I just happened to mention that to you, and so we had to do a shout out.
Yeah, he just happened to mention that to me, and hadn't even thought about you, Alan.
Yeah, not at all.
He was saying how, that was a good thing to buy. I was like, you do realize that
that's
one of
Alan.
our buddies
I was
works
like,
there.
So
I guess the good news, Alan, is that Fresh Works is that good that he bought it without even thinking about you. The bad news is He didn't even think about you. But anyway, I think the good may outweigh the bad just from a business perspective. But
Good shout, man.
but
Good
on
shout.
that note, I'm Brent Leary. He is
The bold one, the cold one, colder ice.
nice. And we will catch you next time.
Peace.